Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ubuntu channel every Friday. Like always, today, the 21st of July, we are live and we bring to you every Friday a program we call Ubuntu Sports. And for the first time, today, we are also broadcasting on a new page called Bwezani with Zambian football, and Bwezani is going to join us. But the topic today is no any other than the FIFA Women's World Cup going on in New Zealand and Australia. We've seen some games that have already been played. The countdown is over. Tomorrow, it's the Copper Queens. Today, uh, the Super Falcons in Nigeria played earlier on, and we saw a 0-0 draw there. I'm joined by a lot of people, and you can also participate in this program by typing in the comments. I'm joined by Skumbuzo all the way from South Africa, Mr. Sain also joining me from South Africa. Lawrence is here. Mr. Msanga joining us from America. It's going to be a jam-packed show because everyone is here from different parts of the country. Good evening. Let me start with you, Bwezani, because we're also broadcasting on your page live. Good evening.
Good evening, Reuben, and first of all, good evening, viewers, and a very rich panel of analysts that are gathered. I'm excited to be here.
Great. World Cup don't have analyst Bwezani. It's about the passion of all the fans as the views. All right. Thank you very much. Bwezani, we are joined by people from other countries. We have joined by Skumbuzo all the way, joining us from South Africa. Good evening, Mr. Skumbuzo, and welcome to Ubuntu Sports.
Thank you. Good evening to everyone today. Thank you.
We hope you give us some good news concerning the what do you call the South African teams? The Vanyana Vanyana is the other one. What do you call the women national team in South Africa?
Oh, you've forgotten. I think we'll give you another hiding so that you remember, Lawrence. I need to give it to you again so that you remember. Banyana
Yeah,
Banyana.
Vanyana, exactly. And Mr. Sani also joining us from South Africa, though is someone who comes from Malawi. Good evening, Mr. Sani.
Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, Muribwanji Kumeneko. I'm looking forward to this show, and it's my first time on the show. And yes, I think the African teams will going to produce the best in this World Cup indeed. We are looking forward to that indeed. Yeah.
All right, let's go to America.
Hi, Reuben. I'm here. Did you ask a question?
I think he's just trying to welcome you to the program, Mr. Msanga. How America and everything?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, we are excited and greetings to everybody. Happy to be part of the show and looking forward to the upsets and in this World Cup. And it's gonna be a lot of fun and a lot of calculators, guys. So get our calculators by the next game. So.
It's interesting that you're already expecting calculators. Anyway, I'm also we also have Mr. Abia all the way from Chipata, Zambia. Mr. Abia, welcome to the program, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Lawrence, Reuben, Mr. Sikumbuzo, Mr. Kelvin Musanga, and Mr. Sadi Musayela, and Bwezani with a Z football there. Thank you so much. I would like to also thank the viewers who have joined us. Please be with us. I think today is going to be a hot show because with the likes of Bwezani, I think he has a lot today.
That's interesting, actually. And also, myself, Lawrence, as usual, always on the program. So, gentlemen, I think we have a lot to digest and dissect and also talk about concerning this World Cup. Of course, we are done with day 2 of the World Cup, going to match day 3 which is going to happen tomorrow. I hope it's not today for Mr. Musanga, who is in the United States of America. Of course, something like 8 hours or so behind us here in Zambia. But I think we'll start with Mr. Skumbuzo from South Africa. How is the mood in South Africa that side concerning the team and the preparations, everything that is happening to do with Banyana and also the World Cup at large? Because remember, I think Banyana will start their campaign on Sunday.
The mood is good. We're looking forward to the games. But in terms of expectations, there's variations. Certain people don't believe in our team, but for me, I'm always a person who's optimistic. Yes, realistic, but optimistic that I think we have the talent. Yes, we might lack maybe on a few things like maybe the physicality and speed, which from the Zambian teams, I think I saw that, which they had. But from a talent perspective, I think we are good to go, and we should give our own and do well. I hope.
I think Reuben is back to take over the program. Reuben, are you back with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Let me bring in Mr. Musanga from America. I know you've been following the defending champions. I know America is the defending champions, and you'll be playing tonight against Vietnam. What do you think of the game? For us in Zambia, to be 03 a.m.
Yeah, so in America, the game is going to be at 19 hours, which is 7 p.m. here. And I think the mood in the camp is, in the American side of the camp things, is like they don't want to be able to underrate their opponents, but I think they are very confident that they can turn the tables from the onset, from the look of things. They have some big players. One of the U.S. players, her name is Megan Rapinoe, and she announced that after this tournament she'll be retiring. So with that kind of expectation and being her last game, so she want to give it the best of herself to the team. That's my kind of short analysis on this one.
Right. Let me cross over to you, Bwezani. So far, how has been the tournament? Has it met your expectations?
Well, look, a lot of expectations. Looking forward to the World Cup to start. But I think when the World Cup starts, you want to look at the games and start thinking, is this what I was expecting? So far, no. The girls are struggling to score. Look, we watch World Cup too for goals. They are struggling to score. I've seen a number of penalties. The calls are correct, but the type of football, not yet to that. And you can understand, there's so much cautiousness now with the teams. They're so scared to lose. Okay, so you can understand the slow start. For me, it's been a slow start. We first of all saw goals in the game that Spain played against Costa Rica. That is an indication of what we want to see. Okay, I had to set up my alarm because I needed to watch Nigeria. I was awake at 03. The game started at 04:15. No goal in that game, but of course, African interest. Yeah, there was a red card there. Yeah, but African interest, it was excellent for the goalkeeper to save that penalty, which was a correct call. So to just simply answer your question, it has not lit up yet. It has not lit up yet. Wait for Zambia to walk onto that pitch. That's when the World Cup will start. What we have here is just a bit of some intro of what is happening. But I think after 09 hours, of course, I'm a fan of America, so I'll be interested to watch Megan. I'm told she'll be retiring after this. After the game, that one opens up the World Cup. But for Zambian interest, we are all looking forward to 09. So not as interesting as I thought earlier, but I think it is too early days to actually judge what the mood is like in this World Cup.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Bwezani. We'll come back to you because we need to go deeper into the Zambian team. Let me bring in Mr. Sani, joining us from South Africa. Mr. Sani, how has been the preparation for the Banyana, the South African team? And are you happy with the preparations? Because at some point we had that almost boycotted going to the World Cup.
So from the Banyana perspective, I think the preparation have been good. As you know, even with the male soccer tournaments, there's always, some boycotts, especially in terms of payments. But the game didn't lose focus. The issues were sorted out, and I think they are still sorting them out on the background. The preparations have gone very well. And as the champions of Africa, as you know, Banyana will be able to become one of the best teams. And for me, it's not about, African teams competing in soccer in the World Cup, but it's about bringing the women's soccer to the world. So this is what we're looking at, whether a team from US or from Zambia or South Africa wins, but this is a true reflection that soccer is not only being pushed to the male counterparts, it's also being pushed to the women counterparts. That's why even in the CAF now, if you need to qualify to play in the CAF, like teams like Sundowns, you need to have a women's team. We've got teams in South Africa which are now preparing to have women's teams so that they can compete in the CAF. So this will be a beautiful showcase. I just want to tell you, please watch out for Banyana. I think they were going to push a big surprise this coming Sunday. And not only Banyana, but all the African teams. I'm looking forward for them doing very well in this World Cup. Thank you very much.
Skumbuso, do you agree with Sani?
No, Sani is already pushing a political agenda. He's a Sundown supporter and I'm a Chief supporter. He's now talking women's soccer. I don't know what that has to do with us now. We are fighting local stuff when the league has not started.
He's saying he's very confident that Banyana is going to go very far. They're going to do well in this World Cup.
Yeah, they should do well. I mean, as I said, they're a talented bunch. From a footballing perspective, we have the talent. So if the girls have prepared well, we should play well. We should just stick to how we to our strengths and play. Just like I've seen Zambia's strength, it seems as if it's pace, counter attack. That's if they stick to that, they will shock a few teams. That's basically it. I think if every team just sort of sticks to what they are good at, then they will be a force to be reckoned. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Skumbuso. Mr. Abia, I want to bring you into the to talk about the Zambian team. We've seen the preparations, played against Germany, beat Germany. Are you happy with the preparations of the Copa Queens so far?
Very, very, very happy because the preparation we started long ago with Colombia, playing 2 games with them. It's good that on that time we were just allowed 1 goal, but I think in the following preparation with the likes of is it South Korea and Venezuela? Is it what team was that? That we usually allowed almost about 5 goals in a game, and allowed also 2 or 3 goals in a game. I think that situation we need to improve because the Japanese, these girls are not guys, but these girls, they are used to play a fast football. So I think the way Nigerians have done, just to sit back and counter, I think that will help us because, Reuben, when it comes to this competition, we are also looking at football ranking, where the Japanese are ranked and the Zambia are ranked. Then we need to focus that we are facing with the big team because they are above us. So we need to take Japan seriously And in addition to that, these 4 teams, Zambia, South Africa, Nigeria, and Morocco, these are the best 4 African teams. So we are expecting a lot from them, because they're the best 4 African teams that they presented at WAFCON, and they need to show there that they are really best 4 teams from African continent. So as for Zambia tomorrow, we need to take Japan very seriously. If we can beat Japan tomorrow or come up with a draw, then you have a good result, because definitely we are going to manage to beat Costa Rica. Costa Rica is the weakest team or weakest opponent in a group. So, but we also need to take them seriously.
All right. Let me bring in Bwezani. Bwezani, let's look at the squad. You earlier on, I saw your post. You are talking about the case. Hazel Nali is not in the squad. Grace Chandler is not in the squad. Do you think Zambia is going to perform without these 2? Are you so confident tomorrow of beating Japan?
Yeah, confident I am. Sad news is that Grace Chandler and Hazel Nali are not in this team. It's quite a disturbing state of affairs. But I think let's get back to history. We've been in this situation several times. Mary Mwakapila was the main midfielder before we traveled to the Olympics. Okay, she got ill, and everyone saw what we did in at the Olympics. Okay, so that gives me a lot of courage. We qualified to WAFCON. The whole lot of stories of Barbara, Kundananji, most of the key players left out. We thought we had no chance. We saw what happened in the AFCON. My friend here from South Africa knows exactly what they did to beat us through crooked ways. Okay, but we saw that this is a Zambian team that is steadily progressing. Now, you look at the preparations to this. First of all, if you are Zambian, you get worried from the start. Okay, you play Tanzania in that friendly. Forget about Colombia friendly. I think it is very miles away. So you play Tanzania, you beat Tanzania in a struggle. You go to South Korea. The advantage that the girls have is they are scoring. Okay. Now I talked about my South African colleague talked about the endurance, which has been missing into the Zambian team. Very good first half, very poor second half. And I think we all were getting worried until we played Switzerland. Okay? Against Ireland, we are poor. Until we played Switzerland, we are winning that game. We ended up drawing 3-3. The game that gives me a lot of confidence is to play against Germany and managing to beat Germany. Now, that's not a small German. They are second ranked and we are 77th ranked. Okay? You can actually see the energy that has changed. You can actually see the focus. And yes, we are going to miss Grace Chandler in the middle of that pack. We hope Evelyn Katongo can actually pop up and play more offensive. We know her weakness is still a bit of physique. But the physical trainer who joined them, you can actually see the change in what we saw during the German game. So by and large, 2 players cannot bring down this team. Okay, it's a pity that they are out due to injury, but I think generally as a team, there's so much unity into that team. And look, we saw when Grace Chandler missed, Ochumba was made to start. You saw what that girl brought, Red Arrow's striker. So I'm not very worried that Hazelnut is not there. I'm not very worried that Grace Chandler is not there. It was going to be a bonus to have them play. But, well, these are circumstances that we cannot control. But basically, I think we are a competitive team. We have improved very much. Believe you me, getting into tomorrow's game and Sunday's game, South Africa, because we are all supporting these African countries, I think South Africans are more happier with Zambia than themselves, because of course there's been that confusion of allowances in South Africa. But if you look at the 2 countries, South Africa is huge in women football, but this time getting into this, I tend to think Zambia looks more of a favorite than South Africa. So we are ready, Reuben.
All right. We've also seen Avram Grant, the national team coach, joining, also boosting the technical bench. How much influence is he going to exert on the team?
Now, Zambians have to understand one thing. Okay, I saw a lot of negative comments because Avram Grant is the head coach for the national team. Now, this is what should be happening. The head coach for the national team is the coach for all the national teams in the country, because a country should be playing the same type of football. Okay, anyone else is an assistant to the national head coach. Okay, so what he is doing, he is not going to take over from what Bruce has been doing all over. He's offering his technical assistant to Bruce Mwape. Okay, which is a plus. Understand? It is a plus. We saw what he did in South Africa, when Zambia managed to win the COSAFA. Just his presence there makes things different. Okay, so we need to understand this. It's not that Avram Grant is interfering with what Bruce Mwape is saying. No, look, I'm Catholic. In the Catholic Church, a parish priest is in charge of everything. Anyone else is just assisting. A bishop is in charge of every parish in the diocese. Everyone else is assisting. That is the situation of Avram Grant. Bruce is actually assisting Avram Grant. But because of the normalcy, which is in here, Avram Grant is not interfering. He's going to give the technical support to Bruce Mwape, and I think Bruce Mwape needs it. We have seen several times the complaints that we've had on Bruce Mwape, and we saw how we were excited with the German approach to the game. That's what we are looking for. So take it easy, Zambians. Avram Grant is not taking over. He's offering that technical aspect of it. And I hope Lameck could actually agree with me.
Yeah, I want to bring Lameck because it seems like he's got a different view. Lameck, over to you, and welcome to Want to Sports.
Thank you so much, Reuben. I'm amazed by the points raised by Bwezani. I think for Avram, I agree. Avram is the overall head coach of all teams, and I think, for me, I'm excited by the fact that Avram has been attached to the Copper Queens, because I think this is a man that doesn't need a lot of time to gel, or put his football mindset to play with the girls, with Avram in that backroom stuff. I'm hopeful that the Copper Queens will perform beyond expectation. For me, I'm excited. I don't even think that people should be worried by the fact that Avram Grant has been attached. I think he's a top football coach. He knows what he's doing. He knows his boundaries, and Bruce should actually be happy to have someone with so much experience in his backroom stuff. Some people that can help him. I think the Germany friendly part of it was due to like some influence from Grant. I think maybe a touch or two may have been from Grant, because again, the way we played Switzerland, the way we played Ireland, and the way we played against Germany were three different matches. The first two were the same, but the Germany one was totally different. Would see from how the team lined up, how we defended, and how we managed to transition into attack, that something was being said somewhere. But we can't take credit away from Bruce. He's been an exceptional coach for the Copper Queens. I think the best we've had for the women's team. And going forward, I think we can just continue improving from the bar that we've set, because it is really high. And then on the injuries, it is really unfortunate that we lost our two key players. But I think, the Copper Queens have what it takes to achieve and to work towards the positive results, even with the two players absent. I believe for me, I'm really excited. And I think Japan are the strongest team in the group. Spain are stronger going up front, but defensively Spain are weaker. So if we're able to defend well against Spain, we stand a very big chance of actually beating them. But the Japanese they're like an all-round strong team. Defensively, they are good. Midfield, they are good. Attacking, they are good, and like they play a good game of football. But again, if we go back to the Olympics, we managed to play against, is it China? We managed to post a positive result. So I think on our end, we may have some, something in us that may help us against the Japanese. We know they are quick, but we have something in us that can help us against them. But I think a result tomorrow, I'm really confident. I think Zambia may actually win tomorrow. Irrespective of the rankings, us being underdogs in the match, I think Zambia can win tomorrow's match.
All right, Lawrence, Lameck's submission is that Japan is the strongest team in the group. Do you agree with that?
I think it's a little bit difficult to judge these teams just like that. Each and every match is different. But to be honest, I look at Spain as a very big threat because they are so dominant on the ball and they give you really less time on the ball. So they are quite more complex to play with. You spend much of the time in the game defending, unlike Japan. Probably Japan will let you lose 1 or 2 or 3 times. Now, the problem that I have is that I think I've said this over and over and over and over, is that I think we tend to allow so many goals. And sometimes it becomes too much. I remember at the Olympics, I'm sorry to go back, but I remember we were given something like 10 goals to 3 versus, is it the Netherlands at the Olympics just a couple of years ago. And that was to show how fragile we sometimes tend to be at the back. Going forward, I don't think we have a problem there. Scoring is something that we do for fun. We score. We manage to score 2-3 plus goals, not a problem. The problem is the number of goals that we tend to allow sometimes. I think this is something that we should watch out for starting tomorrow. If we are to lose, we lose decently, so that even when things don't go our way, the goal difference should not be too huge a mountain for us to play. I'm saying this looking at specifically, I think I can pick quite a number of games that we have played in the most recent. We beat Germany, but I think we also conceded 2 goals. It's good we managed to outscore them. Switzerland, we conceded 3 goals. Ireland, we conceded 3 goals. South Korea, we conceded 5. And probably in the last about 5 games or so, you can talk of only 1 game which we kept a clean sheet, and that was against Tanzania. Now, these are things that I'm sure the technical staff is looking at and trying to maybe clear up here and there, which I think we should appreciate. Hopefully, with the inclusion of Coach Avram Grant, we should be able to see some sort of change in that particular aspect. So I have 100% confidence in this team when it comes to attacking. The problem I have is actually our defense. I think there was always need for, I can't say there is need because we are already there now. So there was always need for us to work on our defense and at least reduce the amount of goals that will help us and take us a long way, Reuben.
All right, Mr. Skumbuso, hope you're still there. Wanted to find out on the prospects of South Africa versus Sweden on Sunday. What are your strengths coming to this game as South Africa?
Yeah, for us, it's speed, skill, and we have quick players up front that I think if they get the chances, they should bury them. Yeah, so for us, our speed should be a big factor. And as I said, in our talent, if we keep the ball very well, protect the ball very well, and play our game, we should be able to snatch this game away from Sweden, because most of the, if I can call it, the European or the Western teams are not the most talented teams in any way. They play their game on on the principles of the game, basically the standard, they are physically stronger and whatnot. But we bring something extra into the game. We have the talent. So for me, that will take us somewhere as long as the coach has made sure that the players keep to that and we play with our strength. And then, yeah. You're saying?
All right, Mr. Sani, do you agree with Mr. Skumbuso?
Yes, indeed. I really agree with him. As he said, that speed is one of the things which we're going to punish most of the teams, in this World Cup. The other thing is that we've got a couple of players playing their trade in Europe. So they really understand exactly how these European guys are playing. Sweden, it's a good soccer playing nation, but I think as Africa, we've reached an extent that we can compete with them. So yes, I'm expecting a very tactical game, a game which we're going to have lots of surprises. But at the end of the day, I think in our next show, we'll be smiling as the Banyana supporters. And I hope as the Chipolo Polo, the Bullets as well, they will bring the best results. So yes, we're looking forward to something better in this World Cup. Thank you.
All right, great. Mr. Msanga, for you, it's at 19 p.m. on your side. For us, it's 03 a.m. for the USA versus Vietnam game. Let's look at the strength. Looking at USA being the defending champion, actually they've defended the World Cup 2 times now in a row. Can they go for the third one? Can they make it a hat trick?
It's actually very possible that they can make it a treble. But in this case, as for myself, it's a bit of a bittersweet in that, because I have my interest right now is on Zambia. At least it will be a good encounter, Zambia USA in the final, and see where we can say, okay, they stand a chance of defending the cup. But I think they're a good, talented player. I think American soccer actually started more with the women football than the guys. I think the guys in America are still playing catch up in terms of organization, as well as they focus so much on the other American football, which doesn't make sense. On the guys' teams, they focus on the American football, which is, a little bit different than the soccer we know. But the guys' teams in the US is still gaining momentum, but the women have been performing quite well over the years. So with that kind of pedigree that they have in their history, I think they're a team to beat at this World Cup. Whoever wants to beat the US would want to give themselves some credit that they stand a better chance to go all the way in the tournament.
Right, Mr. Bwezani, Lawrence brought in the issue of allowing so much goals in the games, including the game for Germany, which you said you like that game, but we also allowed some goals. How are you worried with the defense for the Copper Queens?
Yeah, I think Lawrence brought in very, very valid points. And look, he's backed up his points with the looking back. The last time we actually had a clean sheet was at home against Tanzania. We played very bad. Selemani Comfort scored what I would call a lucky goal. Okay, and that's the only game that would actually say we kept a clean sheet. So there's a serious worry. And this is one thing I was talking about earlier. This team knows how to play football in the first half. And then the panic mode comes in the second half. Okay, which the technical bench have to look out for. Look at all the games on our preparations. See how you can get back to the Olympics. It's in the second half. You can get back to the WAFCON. It's in the second half that we crumble. Okay? And this is where this technical beat has to be put into these girls. Okay? We saw for sure to say they are a team that wear out. Okay? Evelyn Katongo will be nowhere in the second half. And this is the reason as to why a physical trainer was introduced. Because we need to be excited. I think as Zambians, our expectations about these girls are so high than what is real. You understand? Are so high that go back 2 years ago. There was nothing in sort of this. When you play against South Africa, you'll be walloped like no one's business. You understand? So the growth has been so rapid, and we forgot to say we needed a serious physical trainer, we needed a psychologist, we needed a technical director for the girls. It's now that we are able now to see these weaknesses, and 1 month before the World Cup, we've gathered everything that we needed to have done a long time ago. And we saw it pay up against Germany. Take that game seriously. It is one game, believe you me, not only me, Lameck too. It is that game that gives us confidence to start the game tomorrow, the German game. It's that game that gives a lot of Africans confidence. It's that game that Europeans, after beating Germany, woke up and started looking for fourths cases in the Copa Queens game. You understand? Because before that, everyone knew to say it is just one of those teams from Africa. Okay? Germany is the second ranked country in the world. Okay? Just below America. And you understand the shivers that went across. That game is making Japan a bit uncomfortable. Okay? So why are we talking about that game? Because it's the only game for me that showed a lot of purpose, a lot of growth. Even in that defense, you could actually be able to see Martha Tembo, all these girls. Yes, Martha Tembo could have been injured in that game, but you are able to see how comfortable they were on the ball. The panicking was less. And that is what I feel the technical bench should actually be working on from the time that game was played, because that has been our weakest part. And also, what makes that defense very weak, there's been so much reliance on the young girl, Evelyn Katongo, to play as an anchorman, anchor lady of, I beg your pardon. So you find her overwhelmed. And when that midfield breaks down, there's so much trouble. Okay, especially when it is in the second half, the girls are getting tired. There's so much trouble that is actually overburdened on those defenders. So that's what we are supposed to work on. I hope Avram Grant has actually put in something, because we know exactly what he's able to do. Remember how he won the Champions League with Chelsea? Okay? He was just throwing one person. He's very good into that defensive aspect of him if he doesn't want to commit. I hope he has actually put in that. Just like Lawrence said, you don't worry about goals in this game, because these girls are always scoring. Okay? Ochumba will score. Kundananji will score. Barbara Banda will score. Hard luck to Grace Chanda. So there are a lot of ball-winning players up front than what we have in the defense. So, and luckily, no defender, we are praying, because these sicknesses that are coming, some of them seriously disturbing. And you know, people are starting asking questions. We hope no defender is going to get sick, because one day before we play, there are these news that disturbs. I'm praying there's no defender who is going to get injured within the first game, because we seriously need to do that. I want to agree with what Lameck said. I really agree with this agent. I really agree. But today, I want to agree that Japan is the most dangerous team in our group. Everyone is jumping on Spain. Spain is beatable. Japan is fast. Now compare that defense that we have, which is a bit slow, with the pace of Japan. It's this game that is going to give us the tone. Anything that we get against Japan is seriously a very, very good point, because we are going to set that tone. It's this Japan that we need to look out. Yes, Costa Rica were beaten 3-0 today by Spain, and everyone jumps and say Spain is the favorite. European football, for me, you have to look at Netherlands and say, yes, these are the teams. The other teams struggle. England, yes, could be doing better. Spain is just lesser than what we got from Germany. So if our concentration will be very well, we need to take care of Japan, and the road after that could actually be easier.
Lameck, do you want to jump in and also put in your thoughts concerning the defense for the Copper Queens?
Yeah, okay. For the defense, I think our biggest problem has been the number 6 position, because a lot of the goals that we concede mostly when the defense has been torn apart, especially from balls that come from the wing and then they are cut back. So like we need like better defensive organization, especially in that number 6 row. Susan Banda, she has the energy, she can run around and all of that. And then the Germany game, what it showed us was something that we never, personally, I never even expected, because we know Kundana like Ochumba as a center forward, but we saw Ochumba, playing in midfield. We wanted to utilize her energy. She has that ability to run around the field of play. She has that ability to hold up play and all that. So we used that against Germany and it worked. But now I think we need a better defensive organization. If we can play Susan Banda a little deeper, like just in front of the 2 center backs, and then if we can also deploy Susan Katongo. But for this one, I would prefer we would go for like maybe Irene Lungu, so that Irene also plays like a more advanced number 6. So that if like for Evelyn, we put her like a flat number 8. So that we play like a twin number 6, but with a better advanced Irene Lungu. So that when we get the ball, we have someone who has good passing range, who can at least advance better on the ball. Because what we'll try again is what will get us a result is our ability to use the ball correctly when we have that chance. Because one thing that people should keep in mind is that Japan will come to frustrate us. They will deny us the ball. They'll give us very little time on the ball. So we need players that are able to give a killer pass when no one expects. Like Irene gave to the Germany match, where no one was expecting that she would give that long range pass to Barbara. That is what we want again in that Japan match. Again, we'll need the energy of Kundananjo on the wings. We want to block the wings so that at least our wings are protected. If we have 2 players on the wings, that will help out the left and right backs, meaning we've blocked the wings. If we also block the midfield, it will be very difficult for the Japanese to break into that 18-yard area of ours. If we keep the Japanese away from our 18-yard area, then we are safe. We know that we'll get our moment. And that is where I think Coach Bruce Mwape should work on that mental aspect of the girls, that, okay, let's soak up the pressure. If Barbara needs to drop into midfield, she'll drop so that we close down those spaces quickly. We try as much as possible to frustrate them. When they start getting frustrated, that is when we wait for our moment. When we wait for our moment, these are matches that mostly end 1-0. You run around the pitch the whole time because you're trying to absorb the pressure. When you get your moment, you use your moment. You play the Mourinho style sometimes, because at this stage, we don't want to play, in as much as we want to play good football, the result at the end of the day is what counts. So we may end up
Lameck, I know our South Africa, we have overwhelmed our South African and American brothers. It's okay. They are also Ubuntu. They are following up. But for me, The biggest challenge that was there, which I saw different in the German game, was the individual playing of Grace Chanda, Kundananji, and Barbara. Okay, and if you look at what was happening now in the German game, I tend to think in that dressing room, these players were told, "Can we play around Barbara?" You saw how free Barbara was with the ball. And for the first time, you saw Kundananji being a supplier of balls than actually getting in to try to get goals herself. That was a disservice. And for me, that is where Ochumba actually brings in. Among all these players that we have, Barbara Banda, Kundananji, they don't keep the ball. They don't. And this is the advantage that Ochumba has. But it will be very critical if we can actually identify there's always one star in each team. There can never be four. At the moment, Zambia should be playing around Barbara. We saw what happens. Okay, we know the power that Kundananji have, but they need to recognize to say we are playing around this scale, and I think it worked. It worked in the game against Germany, and that is the focus that I would actually want to see. Okay, well, and then Abia Chitundu, you talked about a number 8. I think for me, Abia Chitundu, we call her the fans' favorite because it is because of the fans that girl is into this team. The power of social media, and you can actually see what she brings in the game. Okay, so you have two players that are able to keep the ball, look around, and pass in Abia Chitundu and Ochumba up front. That was what I was missing, because we had 3 egos up front: Kundananji, Grace Chanda, Barbara. These wanted to show who is who, and we were losing it. The fact we realized to say, look, we are playing as a team. We were very good. I don't know, our South African brother. You watched the game against Germany. You can actually start pushing in, because ultimately I'm looking forward to watch South Africa. But if you looked at how Zambia played in the 3 friendlies and the game against Germany, you would understand that it is important at every point to recognize to say you only have one star at a time.
Just to come in, I hope Lawrence will allow me.
Yeah, go on, Sasumo.
Yeah, the Japanese are a different can of fish. They know how to play football vis-a-vis the Germans. Yes, the Germans could be ranked number 2. Anyway, I don't believe that much in these rankings myself. The Germans scored 2 goals on a cross, and on both occasions, their number 9 was not picked. The ball went wide. It came into the box. Nobody was picking that lady. Nobody went with the lady up. He was alone. He had a free head. So if you look at what Zambia did in the earlier times of the game, they were compact and they hit the Germans on pace. And you must realize one thing, that if you are playing on counter, you always have enough space behind your opponents. And with your number 11, is it Barbara? He's very quick. She's very quick, I meant to say. So if you were to use that, it worked for you. But my problem is that the Japanese, they can play football. And as Lameck was saying, you probably need to play the Mourinho style of football. But the Mourinho style also works with you having the strength, I'm talking the mental strength, that is, to be able to concentrate the whole 90 minutes. There was the difficulty with being able to concentrate 90 minutes, people shifting the ball around, moving all off the ball. You'll find yourself moving off. You need that discipline mentally to keep yourself and then get that opportunity, as you say, to kill that game. But otherwise, if you are not going to be concentrating 90 minutes and they're able to keep that ball, and you make that mistake mentally, you are kicked off, you are moved off position, they score, the floodgates will open. So for me, that's the question I want to put to Zambia, that they must know that if they play those Japanese, it's going to be football, and they must know after that game, They'll have to go and sleep because they'll be tired. Those ladies are going to make them run. They will make them run.
Yeah,
not
just
the Brexit football where they kick and hope. They're going to make them run.
yeah,
Can I come in?
right.
Let me start with Mr. Sani.
Yes, so I just want to add with Skumbuzo said. I think it's right. You guys must use the German game as a motivating game into tonight's game against Japan. But I don't think that makes Zambia overconfident because you stop concentrating. You need to really concentrate on the Japan because Japan will be playing. They are not tall people. They are short and they are quick. So you guys want to go into that game with a mentality of winning. You mustn't go with the mentality that you beat Germany and everything is going to be easy. It's going to be a very difficult game and it will need strength from the Zambian team. I'm not undermining the Zambian team, but I just want your team to focus and make sure that you guys come up with a point or 3. So good luck to Chipot Polo for tonight. And I know because we are supporting you tonight, you guys will support us on Sunday. So good luck, guys.
All right. Let's go to
in addition to Reuben,
yes, Mr. Abia.
yes, we are talking about German game just because we won 3-2. But if we lost that game, German couldn't have been a topic of the day today. But what should we concentrate on? You see, we played a 90 minutes of the good football. We played the 90 minutes. Listen. We played a good football in the first half. In the second half, we started allowing the Germans to come on us because we thought that the game was over after scoring 2 goals. But after reaching 90 minutes, the referee on the panel there, they added 12 minutes. And we allowed Germans to score 2 goals on us on that same 12 minutes. And it was lucky that the throw in that Germans they threw to our midfield that passes the ball to the Babla Banda, and Babla Banda make it to be a 3-2 scoreline. But when you see the build up to that third goal was not our creativity, was just lucky of that the ball fell on us and we passes to Babla Banda, then we had the third goal. So what should we do? What should we do tomorrow? You come in later. Let me finish this. What we should do tomorrow?
Bwezani has got a
What we should do? All right. What we should do tomorrow is this: we need to build up our system of playing from the back up to up front, than using those long passes. You know, we shouldn't also allow Japan to score first against us. If Japan will score first against us, just know that Zambia we have suffered, because in this tournament we don't have any experience. We are the first time. This is the first time we are qualifying we are in this tournament. We forget about the Olympic. This is a different tournament now. It's a big one. So I think long balls, long passes will not help us. But I think clear passes, then we can see of ourselves. Otherwise, having a draw tomorrow against Japan, it will be a plus for us. Believe you me, we can't beat Japan. Okay. If we can beat Japan, we'll be just lucky on our side.
Mr. Abia is the bearer of bad news. We can't beat Japan. Before you come in, Lawrence, let's hear from Bwezani. Let's hear from Bwezani.
Can I come in also? So, Abia, it's very good that he's not going to be employed as a technical director for the Copper Queens. We don't want such energy.
The truth hurts. The truth hurts.
No, listen. The issue is this. I'm not looking at the win against Germany. I'm looking at the style of play that the Copper Queens played against Ireland
South Korea, Switzerland, and Germany. Okay, we totally employed a very different ball game in the German game. Okay, and you could actually see the learning that was in the Ireland game, in the Switzerland game, and in the German game. I liked what Skumbuzo said. Okay, we beat German because of the first half compact play. Okay, the quick passes to Barbara Banda confused that German defense. That's not how we were playing in our first two friendlies. And you saw that Barbara was let loose. Okay, was let loose, making her so much free. She wasn't kept in one area. She was actually given a row of a free play. That's why if you practically look into that, you realize that Ochumba was more coming down into the midfield and Kundananji was getting, because of her strength, of course. So we are more excited about the style of play. Even if that game went to 3-3, we're still going to be happy. Now, let's get to the goal that you said it was Sherlock. At the point it was 2-2. We all saw what German wanted to do was to kill that game and win it. Okay? This is what again, Skumbuzo said it correctly. Okay? It was an issue of the counter attack, because where the ball was, German were actually going to score. Once we took advantage of that ball, we needed to use our strength, which is the pace of Barbara Banda. And can we clap for Barbara Banda? It is not easy to face a goalkeeper at that point and clip the goalkeeper. That was excellent. If you call it lucky, Abia, try netball.
Mr. Bwezani, if you can look at that third goal, the goalkeeper was inside, and the Barbara Banda used that opportunity to overthrow the ball on her. If the goalkeeper was on goal post, I don't think we are going to score that goal.
That's thinking.
That was class goal. That one was class.
Exactly.
Yeah,
was class, yes, indeed. I don't deny that.
Lawrence, Mr. Abia, let me allow Lawrence also to come in. Almost winding up the program. Lawrence, over to you.
Okay, first and foremost, I'll say this. I do not believe in luck in a game. What it is that a match itself, a game itself, a match, a football match, is made up of several moments that will compare. At the end of it is what we call a match. You cannot say, no, it was luck. It didn't work like that. Something had to happen for that ball to hit on someone and go into the back of to go into the net. So I do not believe in luck. What I mean is that it takes a lot of training for someone to even know where to find themselves, to even position themselves, to expect the ball and things like that. All those simple things, they make up what we call a play. So when you say one kind of goal was scored by luck, I think it's something that I always take as something lukewarm. First, and now going back to my point, I think I find some extent I find this game against Japan as something that we should actually relish as Zambia. Why I'm saying that is that in most cases, I tend to worry about the physique of our opponents. We usually come against very, very, very big and top players. Talk of the Nigerians just here in Africa. When you look at the Nigerians height-wise and physique-wise and compare to our own players, it's always a mismatch. But this time around, we have a Japan that is actually somewhere around us. Probably we can even bully and all that. Those are the simple aspects that we need to take advantage of tomorrow morning. Why I'm saying this is that when I look at Barbara Banda and her height, I think somehow it's an advantage for us going forward. We should look forward to use that advantage, that height advantage that she was going to possess against Japan. Talk less of Japan. I think there are a number of players who we should look out for. But the biggest threat I see is this lady by the name of I think Yui Hasegawa or something like that. She plays for Manchester City women's, and I think she has the ability to control the midfield, which is something that I fear, especially when we get tired in the second half. We have all highlighted of how much we tend to lose the momentum, especially in the second half. If we are going to allow players like her to take over the midfield tomorrow, especially when our defense is being overworked, I think it's not going to be so good for us. But I remain optimistic for this game, I should say, and I think there is quite a lot of areas we can exploit in this Japanese lineup, and try to utilize that into our advantage. So all in all, there is hope for us, and actually, it's all in our hands. Lameck spoke about playing the Mourinho style. Well, the Mourinho style actually is sometimes the hardest way to play, because it means that you are going to do the most of the chasing, most of the defending and all that. Now, when you are going to defend, especially so deep, one player will just make a mistake, and then it's a goal. Then it becomes very difficult to change mindset from being so defensive, because now you're already down. You need to pick yourselves up, try to fight for a draw or probably win it. It will be very difficult for players to change that mindset and now start attacking. You will have to come up with some subs here and there, and then probably by chance you manage, you equalize and probably turn the game around. Again, you want to go back to the same kind of, again, you have to start making changes and all that. So I think the best form of attack, of defense, is attack. Let's try to attack where we can, but I think we should be mindful of our back at all times. That's what I can say.
But
Right.
you see,
Lameck, we need to go. Unfortunately, we need to go.
okay, like
And
just
just
one
before
final
that,
point. Like just one
yes,
final point.
I'll give you.
Okay.
I'll give you a chance, because we all have to give ourselves. We have to give the predictions. Let me start with Samsanga. Samsanga, give us a prediction, and also for the Zambia versus Japan, and also for the USA game. What are your predictions for these matches?
I think the US will carry the day early morning by your time. At least I think it's gonna be 5-0. That's my prediction on the US side. And then on the Zambia game, based on this discussion that I've heard from everybody in this panel, I think I predict a tough game, but 2-1 in favor of Zambia.
All right, over to you, Mr. Abia. Your predictions for the Zambia game.
All right, I'll start with the USA. USA, I think they wore up the Vietnam by 6 or 7 goals. Less than 5, it will be a miracle. And coming to Zambia game, I think I'll give Japan 3, Zambia 2, because I know how Japan plays. So I have my own prediction: Zambia 2, Japan 3. Failure to that, it will be a 2-2 state of affairs.
All right. Thank you for that, Mr. Skumbuso. Over to you.
Yeah, on my side, I'll talk about the Zambia-Japan match. I hope we get a draw at West, but hopefully we win. But my mind says we'll get a draw at 1-1. Yeah, that's basically what I think.
Lameck?
For me, I think Zambia win 1-0, because for me, I'll use the German game as reference, because from that match I saw Avram Grant in that match, the Germany match. So I think if you look at the matches that Zambia, like the men's team, has played, and then if you look at the Germany friendly, there are a lot of similarities. So going into like the Japan match, we just need to sort out one midfield player in that play. Just give us one player who can just like make those long passes, and then we'll be good to go. For the pressure, I think the girls are ready to soak the pressure. I think everyone knows that the match tomorrow will require a lot of energy, a lot of running around, because those girls there won't give us any space. I think they'll press high and all of that. So it is about the moments, and I think the team is ready. 1-0 to Zambia for me.
1-0 to Zambia. Lawrence, over to you. Your prediction.
I think this will be a high-scoring game. Both teams will be on the score sheet. I see probably a 2-2 or 3-3 draw somewhere there.
Oh, huge. All right, Bwezani, over to you. Give us a prediction, and also because we're televising on your page, so you can also close it for us.
Okay, so for me, first of all, I'm very impressed with my South African brother, Skumbuzo. Look, he knows the game. I don't know where he watches Zambia from. You can tell. You can tell. I wish Avram Grant could actually be listening to Skumbuzo. He will make a bit of some adjustments. That was class addition to the program. I think I just enjoyed.
I need Avram's job. It's mine.
Yeah, coming to the game. Well, it will be a very difficult game for Zambia. It won't be easy. Just as Kumbuzo said, after that game, the girls are going to sleep because it will be tough. It will be a tough game. I see a lot of goals into this. I don't think Zambia is winning tomorrow. A point will be okay. So there will be goals. It could actually go to 3-3. I know how excited the Zambian team is going forward, and sometimes they forget to say they need to do a bit of some defense. So I'll settle for 3-3. Abia, there's no need for you. Don't have to apologize for your prediction. When you say 3-2, Japan will win, we understand. It's your prediction. Okay? Just like we are also talking about these predictions. But otherwise, Zambia 3.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. All of you viewers, this has been Ubuntu Sports, a program that comes to you every Friday. We will drive you through this World Cup to just guide you on what is happening. It's been very, very good. It is my comeback. I've been missing on the program for a long time, and this is my coming back. I'm not going back anymore. So thanks, guys. Skumbuzo, Lawrence, the host, Reuben, for the great analysis. And of course, the bad man today is Abia, but we understand.
No. I'm not the bad one. Apologize, Bwezani. Not the bad one.
I apologize.
You guys.
Enjoy the World Cup.
All right.
And Bwezani, just
Bwezani, on air, you are fired.
see me a neighbor.